In the beginning of the story, we are introduced to Sarah and her young son, Joss. Sarah is a single mother, raising her son on her own after the loss of her husband. One day, as she sits quietly on the ground, her attention is drawn to a helicopter flying overhead. The sound of the helicopter unsettles her deeply. It triggers haunting memories of her past, of a mission that ended in tragedy, claiming the lives of many of her comrades. Sarah, as it turns out, was once a soldier. Now retired, she lives with the weight of her past. Nearby, a few people were enjoying themselves. One of them accidentally bumps into Sarah. Sarah lashes out and attacks the person, breaking his nose in the process. When she regains her senses, she is horrified by her actions and immediately apologizes. The scene then shifts forward by several years. We see that her son Joss has grown up significantly. One day, Sarah and Joss head to the U.S. Embassy to apply for an insurance policy. While waiting, Sarah receives a message from a journalist. He tells her that he has come across new information related to her past mission in Afghanistan. He says he has sent her a video via email and asks her to watch it and identify if she recognizes anyone in it. Intrigued and slightly hesitant, Sarah agrees to check the video, but as she begins to watch it, her son suddenly vanishes from her side. Distraught, she abandons the video and frantically searches for him. Fortunately, she finds him after a short while and proceeds with him to the consulate section of the U.S. Embassy. There, she has a minor task: to apply for a visa. While waiting for her turn in the waiting area, time drags on. Hours pass, and Joss becomes restless and bored. Noticing this, Sarah takes him to the playroom to keep him occupied while she handles her paperwork. After completing her visa application, Sarah returns to the playroom to collect Joss. But to her horror, he is not there. Panic sets in. She starts checking every nearby room, but he's nowhere to be found. In desperation, she calls a security guard and asks him to unlock a particular door. When he fails to do so, Sarah seeks help from the embassy supervisor, Eric Kinch. She tells Eric that Joss may be hiding, possibly playing a game. Eric agrees to help and joins her in the search. The embassy guards also join the effort, but Joss is still missing. Eventually, Sarah takes them to the embassy gate. She recalls having seen two people earlier. One of them passed a bag to the other, who then exited through that very gate. Sarah pleads with them to open it so she can investigate. However, Eric refuses, saying that it's a high security zone. Just then, Sergeant Donovan arrives. He informs Eric that he has reviewed the CCTV footage and no child was seen entering with Sarah. This revelation shocks Sarah. She is sure that Joss came in with her. Eric then escorts her to his office and begins checking her background. Donovan adds that, according to records and security footage, Sarah arrived alone. No child accompanied her. Sarah is stunned and furious. She demands to speak with the German police. Eric obliges and makes the call. Sarah explains her situation to the officers, but the German police inform her that the embassy is American territory. They cannot intervene directly. Still, they assure her that they are dispatching 2 officers to escort her out. Sarah knows that if she leaves, she may never see her son again. She has to act fast. Donovan, needing to step away for a while, locks Sarah inside the office. Left alone, Sarah takes the opportunity to call her mother. She urges her to reach out to the police and government, convinced that Joss has been kidnapped and that the people in the embassy are involved. Her mother, however, questions Sarah's mental state, asking if she has been taking her prescribed medication. We learn that Sarah suffers from a stress disorder, a result of her military experiences. Her condition sometimes causes delusions, and she has been under treatment. Despite this, Sarah remains focused. She finds a pin, uses it to unlock the door, and escapes the room. On her way past the playroom, she spots her son's toy, solid proof that he had indeed been there. This strengthens her resolve. Sarah continues her search and enters a room where she encounters a young woman named Irina. Terrified, Irina attacks her at first, but once calm, Sarah asks if she's seen a 6-year-old boy. Irina initially denies it. As Sarah turns to leave, Irina changes her mind. She tells Sarah that she can help. Irina reveals that she has been living inside the embassy for 2 months and knows the place well. She offers to help Sarah find Joss, but only if Sarah helps her escape. Sarah agrees. Meanwhile, General Annabelle, head of the embassy, is informed about Sarah's presence. Upon learning that Sarah is a former Special Forces agent, Annabelle suggests calling the police. Eric, however, proposes handling the matter internally to avoid legal complications that could ruin Sarah's career. Annabelle agrees and instructs him to quietly remove Sarah. Back with Irina and Sarah, they begin planning their escape. Irina tells Sarah they need an access card to move freely. Sarah stealthily incapacitates a guard and takes his card. Together, they head to the storage area where items are loaded onto trucks. Sarah inspects the area but discovers that the truck has already left. However, she finds the same bag she had seen earlier during the suspicious exchange at the gate. Inside the bag, she finds a large quantity of drugs. Realizing the embassy is involved in illegal drug trafficking, Sarah knows the situation is far more serious than she imagined. She returns to the room with Irina. Irina becomes upset. She had planned to use the next truck to escape, but Sarah, fearing more danger, stops her. Suddenly, 2 guards burst in, attempting to abduct Irina. Sarah springs into action and fights them off, successfully protecting Irina. But soon after, Eric and Donovan arrive. Eric injects Sarah with a sedative from behind, rendering her unconscious. When Sarah awakens, she finds herself tied to a bed. Standing in front of her are General Annabelle and Supervisor Eric. When Sarah regains consciousness, she turns to Annabelle and says, "I want my son." Annabelle gently responds, "I spoke to your mother. She told me about your condition. When you were on a mission in Afghanistan, you got injured, and ever since you've had this illness, episodes of dizziness and disorientation." Sarah, still skeptical, insists, "I want to see the CCTV footage." Her last wish is granted, but when she watches the CCTV recordings, she is shocked. Her son is nowhere to be seen. In every frame, she is completely alone. Staring at the screens, Sarah begins to accept the reality around her. Maybe, just maybe, these people were telling the truth. The next morning, while resting on her bed, Irina walks in. She has come to take Sarah away. Irina reveals, "Donovan came to me. He was asking questions." Sarah looks at her, confused. "Who are you? Why are you trying to escape from here?" Irina replies, "My father belonged to one of the most powerful families in Belgium. He had immense wealth. In fact, he was a criminal, closely linked to government dealings. But when the opposing party rose to power, they feared him. They attempted to kill him and succeeded. I'm here because now they want to eliminate me as well. If I hadn't come here, I'd be dead already. I know someone has been hired to kill me." Sarah, overwhelmed, says, "You're not real. You're just a hallucination." But in a desperate act, Irina starts harming herself. Sarah immediately stops her, and it is then that she realizes this is all real. She's not hallucinating. The threat is real. The lies around her are real. Determined, Sarah decides to confront Marcelo, the same man who was seen handing over a bag full of drugs to his associate. She finds him and confronts him. Marcelo, trying to gain her trust, says, "Yes, I know where your son is," but his behavior raises red flags. Sarah can sense he is lying. He doesn't know anything about her son. He only wants the bag of drugs. So, she makes a deal. "If you want your bag back, bring me a map of this facility and an access card." Marcelo agrees and instructs her, "Meet me in the gents' washroom after 20 minutes. After Marcelo leaves, Eric arrives with his daughter, Eileen. Later, when Eric leaves, Sarah discovers that Eileen has forgotten her toy. Sarah picks it up and keeps it with her. 20 minutes later, Sarah and Irina go to the designated washroom. Marcelo is waiting for them. He hands them a map and an access card. Using the access card, they manage to enter Donovan's office. While Irina checks Donovan's computer, Sarah spots files labeled with her name. She realizes that these people know everything about her. To her horror, she also discovers that Eric was involved in the mission in Islamabad. A video clip sent by a reporter shows Eric speaking to someone. Although the person's face is not clear, it is visible in a mirror reflection. The reporter's phone number is displayed on the video. Sarah quickly calls him. The reporter tells her, "I found out through Pakistan that the attack in Afghanistan happened because of Eric. But one key figure in the video is still not clearly identifiable." The reporter adds, "I'll send you a high-quality screenshot." Just then, Irina notices Donovan approaching the office. As she finishes transferring the screenshot to Sarah's laptop, Donovan enters. Sarah attacks him without hesitation, and both women escape. They flee to the rooftop where Sarah checks the screenshot. The image reveals that the person Eric was speaking to was the leader of the Islamic group responsible for the attack. Sarah finally connects the dots. Eric betrayed them. He leaked the location of their base camp to the enemy. Now she knows he's behind her son's disappearance as well. Her next move, head to the storage area to smuggle Irina out. After distracting a guard, Sarah helps Irina hide in a truck. But Sarah isn't so lucky. Eric arrives with his guards, and a fierce confrontation ensues. Sarah fights bravely. She eventually manages to injure Eric. "You could have killed me in an accident or outside this place," she accuses. Eric replies mockingly, "How did you figure it out?" Sarah declares, "You were involved with the terrorists. You gave them our base location, and I know you kidnapped my son. Just tell me where he is." Eric smirks. "If I die, you'll never see your son again. My men will be here soon." Sarah doesn't wait. She attacks him again and escapes. She now has a new plan: kidnap Eric's daughter, Eileen, using the toy she had picked up earlier. Using the toy, she gains Eileen's trust and takes her to a safe house, locking her inside. Her goal is to force Eric to come to her to finally get answers. When Eric finds out, he comes to the safe house. Sarah tells him, "I want my son back." She had shut down the oxygen supply inside the safe house. As oxygen levels drop, Eileen's condition begins to worsen. Sarah, moved by compassion, restores the oxygen flow. "I don't want any child to suffer because of me," she says. She then tells Eric, "I'll let your daughter go, but you have to come inside. I need to talk to you." Eric agrees. Sarah sends Eileen out safely, and Eric enters the safe house. Sarah confronts him. "I know you want to kill me. I'll do it myself. But after I'm gone, promise me you'll give my son to my mother." Eric remains silent. He knows the room's audio is being monitored, so he walks over and disables the surveillance system. Then he confesses, "Yes, I met with the enemy. I was paid a lot. When that reporter got the video, I couldn't eliminate you because he was pressuring me even more. But now you've become the only living witness. We've been manipulating you from the beginning. Your son came here with you. We only needed you to fall into our trap so I could come out looking innocent." Without warning, he shoots Sarah and also fires a bullet into his own foot, pretending she attacked him. Then he walks out, staging the scene. A bomb is planted to destroy the safe house. But what Eric doesn't realize is that Sarah still had his daughter's phone, and on that phone, she had recorded everything. Finally, the truth comes out. Eric is exposed and arrested. Sarah is rushed to the hospital, and her son is found safe. Sarah is reunited with her son at last, and with that, the story comes to a powerful conclusion. Thank you for watching.